Welcome to In the Kitchen with Diana. Today we're making some cherry sauce.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
This past week here in the Spokane area, I was able to go up to our Green Bluff area and pick a whole bunch of cherries. I picked some pie cherries, some Bing cherries, and some Rainiers. And I had about 2 cups of tart pie cherries that it's just too much. So I thought I'd show you how to make some cherry sauce with it. It's very easy, super simple. It goes together in about 10 minutes. And I was thinking of all the delicious things you can put it on. You could put it on pancakes, your yogurt, your oatmeal. It's a great topping for cheesecake. You could also put it on a glaze for pork or chicken. You can turn it into something you use with your cocktails or your fancy summer drinks. You could put it in a little bowl with a charcuterie board if you'd like. Bread pudding, pound cake, it's kind of endless. So I've got just a little bit of pie cherries left. Like I said, it was too much for a pie or not enough for a pie, but too much to put in the bag when I froze them. So I have rinsed these, I've pitted these, and these are fresh, but you can also use frozen. So we are gonna go over to the stove and I'll show you how to make the sauce. All right, so get a big stock pot. Come on, flames, there we go. So I've got my 2 cups of tart pie cherries. They are all pitted and washed. I had them in the fridge because I thought, what am I gonna do with these? And we have yogurt and homemade granola pretty much every morning. We also have pancakes on Saturdays and use all of the recipes in my YouTube. So I thought some cherry sauce would be so delicious with some whipped cream on pancakes for tomorrow morning. So I've got my 2 cups of pitted pie cherries. We're gonna add a 1/2 cup of water, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and a cup of sugar. Let's give that a good stir. We're gonna bring it to a boil and we're gonna simmer it for 10 minutes. Now we sit and wait. So I use the same recipe if I've got blackberries or blueberries or any kind of sauce I want to make out of fruit. I just usually add, if they're super juicy, I don't add any water to it. But if I want a quick syrup or whatnot for pancakes or a sauce, this is the recipe I use. And I figured it would probably work for cherry, so we're gonna try it out. So now we just gotta wait for it to come to a simmer. And then it'll start breaking some of those cherries down. So it's reached a simmer. I'm gonna turn it down to a simmer and set my timer for about 10 minutes. Let those cherries simmer and break down a little. I'm gonna stir it occasionally. All right, so our cherry sauce is smelling delicious. And it looks so beautiful. I love this red color. Now I want mine thick because right now, I mean, honestly, right now it would be perfect for like cherry limeade. And I think, so I'm going to make a cornstarch slurry. I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and a tablespoon of water. And we're gonna put that in there and it's gonna thicken up. So I've got a tablespoon of water here. I'm just gonna use my measuring cup I had and put a good scoop of cornstarch in there. Give it a little mix. Pour it in, and then as we stir this, it's gonna thicken right up. And if we need more, we can always add more, depending on how juicy your berries or cherries are. But we do want this to cook for just a couple minutes or a good minute. You want to stir it constantly because it's in there thickening. So this consistency right here would be perfect if you want to like glaze pork chops or chicken or something like that. But because we're going to use it like for yogurt, granola, oatmeal, that sort of thing, I do want it thicker like a true cherry pie filling. So I'm going to make me a little bit more. Get some more water here right out of the fridge. It's probably way too much. I'm gonna add some more cornstarch to it. And you can use arrowroot if you need to. I'm gonna add this in while I stir it because I might not want all of it. That's looking better. Let's add a little bit more. And as this cools, it is going to thicken up some too, so I want to keep that in mind. I think I'm going to stop right there. All right, so I'm going to shut my heat off. And I'm going to grab a hot pad because we're going to go back over to the island. And then I'll chat with you there. So let me grab a hot pad and we'll move back over. All right, so we've got our cherry sauce here. And we do need to add just a little bit vanilla. I'm going to add about half teaspoon to a teaspoon. Stir that in. Oh my goodness. Now if you want, you could add a tiny bit of almond extract if you want the whole cherry almond thing. You totally could do that. Now, right now, this would be perfect over ice cream if you want the big cherries. I don't, so I am going to grab my immersion blender and knock some of those cherries a little smaller, get it a little softer consistency. Let me grab that. Now, if you don't have an immersion blender, you could also stick it in your food processor. You do want to be careful with this because it's hot. See if I can. Well, there's a lock button I have to hit and the on button all at the same time. Ow, see, that's hot. Do I want it thinner, chunkier than that?
I like it a little smooth, but
A little smoother?
yeah, you know, if it's gonna be on yogurt and stuff, I don't want big old pulp things.
I don't want big, huge. I think that's good. There's a couple cherries in there, but not too many. So just be careful that you don't splash yourself with the hot cherry juice. Let me unhook it. Cherry popsicle coming up. All right, so I've just got a jar here. I'm gonna store it in the fridge. It'll store for about a week in your fridge. I can't imagine that this is gonna last very long. If you want to make a bunch of it, just get like some plastic jam containers. You could store it in your freezer, about 3 to 4 months in your freezer. And this is glass, so even though it's still hot, it will be fine. Look at that sauce. Yum. And it does make about 3 cups. I forgot to tell you that. Yum. All right, well, let me grab a spoon. I'm gonna take it out of here because there's quite a bit down here. Blow on it because I know how hot it is. Oh, that's delightful. That is cherry pie filling. We're gonna put it on our pancakes and yogurt and enjoy this little bit that I couldn't fit in a pie bag that I have in my freezer. So don't forget that you can use this with blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries. Same recipe, to a couple cups of fruit. If it's super juicy fruit, I omit the water just because you have enough juice from your fruit to make your sauce, and then just thicken it up a little with some cornstarch because it is fantastic on pancakes and waffles. That's kind of probably our favorite thing. But this with pound cake and some ice cream this summer would be delicious. Or cheesecake. That sounds real good too. But I thank you again for joining me in my kitchen as I showed you how to make some really easy cherry sauce. It went together really fast. I hope you guys are having a great summer, and here is one more summer recipe that you're not going to want to miss out. Stay tuned. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on that bell for notification. Don't forget I'm also on Instagram and Facebook at In the Kitchen with Dinah. I'd love to see you there too. I hope you guys are having a great summer, and I will see you on the next episode. Wow. I feel a little spacey, so I'm just gonna take a second.
It's okay, get a drink.
My Hummer's getting a drink too. I need to make more.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I made sauce the day before we left, so it's been 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, honestly, it doesn't seem too much.
Well, I don't want to make any more because I see I need to clean it on the inside again.
I mean, that's good that they go for a couple weeks.
I wouldn't want to make, well, I don't want to make more. I'd rather make it more often and cleaner.
Yeah.
Gonna taste good, I know.